Don't add. Don't add. That is what I want us to talk about on this week's episode of Minutes with MinistaMike. For the past 3 weeks, we've been talking about problem solving. So, the third principle of problem solving that we will look at this week is the principle of don't add. It just means don't add to the problem. So when you hear the word don't add, especially don't add to the problem, what pops in your mind? I want you to think about it for a minute. When someone tells you do not add to the problem, what are they advising you about? What are they trying to say to you? Don't add to the problem. This means you avoid actions or reactions that exacerbate the situation. Actions or reactions that blow the situation out of proportion. Actions or reactions that make any situation worse. That is, don't add to the problem. So this week, I don't want you to add to your problem. You know the challenges you are facing already. You know where you are facing some problems, 1 or 2 problems. Do not add to the problem. If you cannot solve the problem by asking for help, at least do not add to that problem. See, instead, your focus should be on simplifying the problem. Your focus should be on breaking the problem down into manageable parts, into pieces that you can manage. I'm advising you this week, and I'm challenging you this week to use the third principle of problem solving and do not add to your problem. Address the problem without adding any unnecessary complexity to the problem. Sometimes the highest level of genius is simplicity. So this week I want you to go out with this insight that, see, if I cannot solve my problem the way I want it solved, at least I will not add to the problem. The first thing I want you to do is simplify your problem. That is one way for you not to add to its complexity. It's already tough. All right, you are already facing the brunt of the challenges you have in your life, the brunt of the obstacles. You're already facing the consequence of that. So do not add to the problem. So simplify the problem. That is what it means to not add to your problem. You simplify it. Look at the core issue and strip away any other things that have been added to it, any other details. Strip it away. Strip away all other details that is not really the core issue that you are facing. Avoid overcomplicating the problem. That is another point I want you to go with today as you seek to simplify the problem. Avoid overcomplicating it by focusing on what is truly essential. What is your problem? Like, what is really your problem? It is not, you will discover that the things you think are contributing to your problem might not necessarily be contributing to them at all. It is just you looking for who to blame for the situation you find yourself. So simplify. Avoid overcomplicating it. Simplification will help you to understand your problem better. What am I trying to do? What am I trying to solve? What obstacle am I trying to overcome? Simplification will help you with your understanding of the problem, and then you discover that when you simplify your problem, you will be able to find effective solutions to it. Another thing that will help you not to add to your problem is breaking down your problem into manageable parts. See, every problem we face can be systemized. Every problem. If you have a problem waking up early, you can find the root cause of that. Especially maybe you find you always get late to work. Maybe you don't like the job. So find what you like in the job and you will discover that you are able to get up early. But that's by the way. So break down your problem into parts that you can manage. Number one thing you can do about that is to divide the problem into smaller portions, all right? You should divide the problem into manageable components. Then you tackle each component at once. You don't tackle every component together at once. That can be overwhelming. You tackle each problem, each part that you've broken your problems down into. You tackle each part one at a time, and it will make the problem solving process less stressful. Because the moment you're stressed, you want to run away from solving your problem. Also, you now prioritize those parts based on their urgency, based on their impact, based on their importance. You now prioritize them. Okay, I've broken down my problem into 5 parts, but the number 4 is the most important. So let me put it up there and solve it first. Then the number 3 is the second most important. I put it up there. After I solve number 4, I will solve number 3. That is how you break down your problems into manageable parts. Another thing you need to avoid, so that it will help you not to add to your problem, is avoid adding any complexity to it. Do you understand me? What is really your problem? You're broke. Yeah, you have a money problem, and sometimes you have a spending problem. So how do you identify that? You don't just rant about Nigerian economy. That is not your problem. Yes, it is a problem that might affect you or that is affecting you, but that is not a primary problem. Your primary problem is your spending habit. Your primary problem is your earning potential. It's either you don't earn enough or you are spending too much. So you need to know, okay, why am I broke? Is it because I'm spending too much on unnecessary things, or I am not earning enough? It's easy to say, oh, it's because I'm not earning enough, and I get it. But see it clearly. Maybe the bad habit of spending too much is the one that is making your earnings to look so small. Do you understand me? So you prevent complexity. Resist the urge to overthink. Resist the urge to overanalyze your problem. Stop yourself from thinking too much about a problem. The moment you identify the problem, find a solution to it. Don't think again and again and again, oh no, this is the problem. No, you already identified. That is adding too much complexity to your problem when you overanalyze that problem. So you stick to the basics, all right? You address the fundamental aspects of your problem first. That is how you can stop yourself from adding to your problem. Another thing is, address the issue the moment they come. Address issues promptly so that you prevent them from growing bigger. We call it snowballing effect. When a small ball of snow is rolling down a hill, it has the potential to become an avalanche. It becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, adding to its component. And that is what I don't want you to do about your problem. The moment you identify one major component of your problem, boom, go solve it, so that you don't have a snowballing effect. So that the problem will not just start adding components to itself and then it becomes bigger and becomes overwhelming. So you stay calm, you stay composed to avoid escalating the problem. What is the issue you're facing? That person is getting on your nerves. Stay calm so that you don't say what you don't mean, and then the problem will move from point A to point D. Do you understand me? So be very careful of that, and also fix the current problem before moving on. I think I mentioned that a little. You need to fix the problem you are able to identify right now before moving on to the next problem. Do you understand me? Get that off your table. Get that off. Concentrate on solving the problem you have at hand before tackling new issues, or else you overwhelm yourself. So you ensure that the current problem is fully resolved so that you prevent it from affecting future problems that you will face, because we are humans and life is complex. Sometimes you will still face other problems. So solve the one you are facing now first, and that will help you to solve others. You won't be thinking, oh, I still have 2 problems that I've not solved. No, it won't start accumulating. Do you understand me? And finally, this week, I want you to know that you need to communicate your problem clearly. When you're working on your problem, you ensure that you are clear and you have concise communication. Avoid miscommunication that can add to the problem. That is one way for you not to add to your problem. When they ask you what is the problem you are facing, be clear and be concise. This is the problem I'm facing about meeting my target. This is the problem I'm facing about writing that book. I have writer's block. I cannot just get myself to write the first word. Be concise. Don't start talking about, oh, it's because my kids are around. Don't start overcomplicating things. What is the problem with your book writing? Be concise. It's because I was lazy. I should have just go straight to the point. Do you understand me? And finally, this week, learn. That is one way for you not to add to the complexity of your problem. Learn from the problem. The moment you are able to solve one problem, then you have experience, then you have evidence. Do you understand me? So you use the experience of the problems you've been able to solve and the evidence of the problem you've been able to solve. You use them as a learning opportunity to make yourself better. So this week, go out there and do not add to your problem. The problem you want to solve is right there on your table. Solve it without overcomplicating it. Thank you, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.